What up? My name is Don. I'm the founder of Vertias Comics. It is going to tell y'all the truth and give y'all true reviews on comics that's coming out this month, starting today. Okay, as y'all know, Marvel has been talking a lot about the new 52, that whole new comic line when they start everything over, which everybody was talking about. This is a horrible idea. This is as bad as when Marvel tried to do it a few years back, and that complete. But today I want to talk to y'all how it started out. Of course, it started out with Flashpoint number 1. Apparently, Flash goes back in time unknowingly and changes the whole timeline to where no one knows who the Flash is. He never became the Flash. Batman is now Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father. Cyborg is the symbol of justice in America, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war to control the world. So it's an interesting comic. It has a great design, of course. The whole key is that he goes back in time just so he could stop his mother from dying. So of course, August 31st, we saw the last Flashpoint number 5, where we see Reverse Flash, who tells Flash it is his fault, that he had nothing to do with it. He did not bring him back in time. He didn't change the timeline. And it was insane how this went. But the greatest part about this is what I like. He said, Reverse Flash says, the legendary Flash cannot hurt Edward Twain. At the very end, Batman sticks his sword right through his chest, saying, "What about me?" Batman kills him, which is fucking awesome. Batman's always been a badass. But let's get down to the point of business. Let's talk about the new 52. The first off the line is the new Justice League comic, which of course, you know, people being like Jim Lee, awesome design, awesome creator, awesome writer. People were so in the uproar about the 52 is not going to work. They changed the comics. They're messing up the classics. Thing is, I don't think they're messing up the classics. I think this is an attempt to really branch out to get people back into reading comics, which I don't blame DC for. People have stopped buying printed comics now, or they just stopped buying comics completely, and people are not into it. This is for DC to get people back into their world. They've started over. They're making everything new. Number 1, new Superman, new Batman, new Wonder Woman, new Aquaman, new Flash. And they have placed the comic 5 years in the past, where no one knows superheroes. Everybody's a vigilante. The superheroes don't even know each other. They're all going off rumors about each other and sightings. And even Vic Stone's father is the person researching them. He's going into them. We get introduced to Batman, Green Lantern, Vic Stone, and Superman in Justice League number 1. Now, of course, there's not a lot. They will change about the comics. Like, for instance, Green Lantern, Batman's costume aren't changed at all. Already, there's not a lot you can do with Batman's costume being it's just black and gray. Green Lantern's costume doesn't change at all. Already, they had a bunch of designs for it. They had even in the back of the comic, the first one to get, they show you the design that they have on, and to be honest, it's too armory. His costume has a lot of armor. It could be something later on, but right now it's just, it wasn't going to work. Even Superman comic, actually I thought this design was actually pretty good. I thought this was good because it actually looked more like Kryptonian. I thought it looked like something that he would wear from his planet. So I actually like that design, but that's not the one they went with. The great thing about it, they kept the storyline very, very simple to start with, just to ease people back into the comics, get you where you want to know. And it's not a reboot. It's just it's not a relaunch, reboot, whatever they said, but it's to get people back into it. Apparently, the things that happened prior to these comics are still valid in these. They just retelling the story. They putting in new kind of arcs into it, but right now they're saying there's no Earth 1. It's just right here and right now. 5 years in the past where people didn't know the heroes. So we find Batman, of course, patrolling Gotham, who comes upon what he believes is a transformer, which is some kind of cyborg that came out the docks. And we don't know what this thing is, it doesn't do. They think that it plants a bomb. And the final thing about the thing is that it says, for Darkseid. So we already know what the storyline is going to kind of go to. We're going to know it's going to go to Darkseid. We know who Darkseid is. If you've read a DC comic, if you've seen at least even one good Justice League show, then you know who Darkseid is. So you kind of understand where it's going to go. But right now, Batman, Green Lantern, they don't know who Darkseid is, and they come to the conclusion maybe this has something to do with that superhero Metropolis. Of course, they don't know Superman. They don't know what he does. They don't know what he's capable of. Well, except Batman does. Of course, he does his research. And actually, the whole syntax between Green Lantern and Batman is kind of funny right now, because even in the old comics, they didn't get along very much. Even right now, they're about to get into a fight. Just because of this, they're about to get into a fight because Green Lantern tries to assume what Batman can do as far as superpowers go. He can't fly. He's not super strong. And he's just a man in a costume. And they're about to get into a fight over this because Batman just takes Green Lantern's ring off, no problem. So they go to Metropolis, and we actually get introduced to Cyborg, Vic Stone, before he becomes Cyborg. Great, the All-American football player, Vic Stone. They tells us that his dad's the person researching the superhumans, and they don't know who it is. They keep saying there's a new site every day. We have not been introduced to Diane or anything yet. One thing that caught my eye on this comic is that Green Lantern was such a freaking snob. He kept referring to himself as in third person. For instance, when he get to Metropolis, Batman tries to tell Green Lantern what he sees, what he can assess from Superman's powers. He traps Batman in a cage. Just traps him. It says, here's the plan. Green Lantern goes in there and restrains Superman for questioning. Batman waits here. I can handle this. He acts like a snob and said, I can handle this. Green Lantern can handle this. Always in the third person with him. Of course, we all kind of assume that he can't handle it. It's Superman against Green Lantern. Red Bird comes in and just knocks him out. He just kind of deserved it. He was being a little bit of an ass. I love Hal Gordon, original Green Lantern and everything. Love him. But Superman comes in saying, and we finally get to see what the final costume was of Superman. Let me tell you, it's just amazing. It's an amazing design of his costume. The S is the same. They got rid of the red tights. They changed the belt from yellow to red. Not a bunch of differences, but now the cape is connected to the costume, and he has a V-neck, which people kept making a big fuss about. Which, in truth, I don't see what the problem is. It's actually a great design. Superman, everybody's younger in the comics. It's actually a good. Of course, it's gonna be great art, but it just looks awesome. When he show it to you like this, it's kind of like you fall back in love with comics when you see this. And it's just awesome. The next comic is Batman vs Superman, one of the greatest fights ever in the comics. They always had Batman and Superman have these little fights every now and again. And even one time in the comic, they goes on to say, Batman is the world's strongest man. That's Superman who says this. And I look forward to seeing what Batman can do. Can he beat Superman without knowing his weaknesses, if he even knows them or not? So I look forward to seeing when the next one comes out. I look forward to Justice League number 2 and seeing it. So it got me wanting to read more. That's what DC wants you to do. They want you to get involved. They want you to want to read more. I think the new 52 line is actually gonna be a good success as long as the fans support it. Then once they try getting back into it, and just go in and see it. You know, I think the 52 line is actually going to be good as long as they keep some of the basic things about the superheroes. They're not gonna change a lot, of course, but I just look forward to seeing it. I look forward to see what they're gonna do. I look forward to seeing how they change the storyline, what goes on, who comes in. I look forward to seeing how Wonder Woman does. I look forward to seeing everything, how they all come together. So I think New 52 is going to be great. So the next comic comes out September 7th, and I think it's The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight. So a bunch of Batman comics, and I just look forward to it. I hope everybody goes on and support it. Well, this has been Diamond from Vertias Comics. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Much more to come.